Hey, welcome to our episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Jason's joining us again.
Hey.
We got a pretty special beer here tonight. I got this in a trade with Scott Mitchell like a while ago. It's just been sitting in the fridge ever since then. Pretty rare beer in this area, anyways. I think we got like maybe one case per beer store around here. So, anyways, this is the Stone Farking Wheaton Woot Stout. Ale brewed with pecans, wheat, and rye with 1/4 aged in bourbon barrels. It's a big beer at 13% ABV. It's a collaboration between Greg Cook of Stone, Wil Wheaton, the actor, and 𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗏 of Fark.com. And I don't really know the whole story. Like, they sort of talk about it on the back here, but not exactly how. I mean, I know Wil Wheaton's a home brewer. I follow him on Twitter. So it's cool to see like a celebrity like that, and he's on Untapped too. I'm actually I'm friends with him on Untapped. I actually haven't seen him on there in a while. Anyways, so let's just get straight into the beer here. You can see we already got it poured. It's pretty typical imperial stout, just black. Pretty dark, tan, frothy, more of a foamy head, I guess.
Yeah, it's just swirling it on the glass. It kind of. I think the alcohol is so high on this, it kind of just.
Yeah, you can just see.
Goes right down.
It doesn't even stick to the glass because it's probably so like, and you can see the legs, like the clear on the glass. That's like the alcohol legs.
Ah, okay.
That's. I can smell it as soon as I open it, but getting right into it.
Wow, this is cool.
It's very. I almost said like juicy. It's almost like pure grape juice or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I get a little bit of the bourbon.
Yeah.
Was it 1/4 of it's aged in bourbon barrels?
Yeah.
But it's not one of those overly bourbon-y smells that kind of takes over the beer.
It's got like this really fruity, like vinous.
Yeah, I get red fruit in this.
Yeah, I mean they said it's brewed with pecan. I don't know if you say pecans or pecans, whatever.
Pecan.
I mean, I really don't smell any nuttiness on it. I mean, to me, it just smells like it smells like a pretty standard Russian Imperial Stout, like, Stone IRS or whatever.
Yeah. Actually, if I didn't know this was aged in bourbon barrels, I think I might, I don't know if I'd pick that up or not. The bourbon note, I just get.
Maybe we'll taste it, so
yeah,
let's get into it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wow. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Really sweet.
Yeah, and I actually, initially I get the bourbon kick, and then I get a big sweetness, really just in-your-face sweetness.
Yeah, you get that bourbon right away. I get the standard Russian Imperial type black licorice.
Yeah.
A little bit of chocolate in there. Not really coffee. It's not particularly bitter.
I mean, for me it's very roasty, but I don't have like espresso or coffee notes really. It's mostly chocolate for me.
Yeah, it's kind of like maybe like in the aftertaste there's coffee, but I just get like a ton of fruit on this one.
Yeah.
Like it's like I said with the nose, it was like it's almost like it's very like almost like blueberry, raspberry, blackberry, even though it's not made with fruit. He said it's made with wheat. I have no idea why. Wil Wheaton, I guess.
Yeah.
I assume that's probably more for mouthfeel than anything else.
Yeah. For a very sweet beer, this is kind of unique for me because usually they're kind of creamy. This isn't really overly creamy. It's really got that fruity acidity to it almost.
Well, it's got like the texture is like creamy smooth, but it doesn't have like a creamy taste to it. It's also we forgot to mention this. It's brewed with rye too. Maybe like that rye might be like kind of that bitterness in the aftertaste. Because rye is like spicy and dry, but
yeah, I mean it's really drinkable for 13%. I wouldn't really peg this at 13% if this was blind.
Yeah, when you get in those kind of high digits, I mean I can definitely tell it's a big beer, but I get like so much flavor out of it. And aging it in the bourbon barrels, I mean They must have been like, I think they were probably in a rush to get this to market, because ideally this would have been like something they wanted to age the whole thing in bourbon barrels, you know. And for a long time. It's been like, I just, like a week ago I had the 𝗙𝗵𝗵𝗪, which is that is a big beer too. That's aged in, you know, barrels. We have plenty of barrel-aged beers, you know, kind of like 𝗙𝗵𝗵𝗪, things like that.
Yeah. Do breweries typically age a portion of their beer in barrels and then use the rest as just the normal beer?
It depends if they just want to do a special imperial stout.
Okay.
I mean,
Like
Brown's here in Troy, they do the whiskey barrel porter. That's a beer. That's only 6% ABV.
Oh, okay.
That's one of my favorite beers. Yeah, I mean, every time I take a swig of this, I'm still impressed by like how much fruit I get, and I mean, it's kind of cliche, it's kind of standard to just say black grape, but it's really not. Like Stone IRS, I don't know if you ever had that, has like a real like sour grape to it, like or a tart grape. But this, like I said, it's almost like berry, kind of licorice. There's a lot going on here. Maybe even some vanilla from the bourbon barrel.
Yeah, I definitely get that red berry thing going on here, which is, you know, it's really refreshing for such a a style that's usually very heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, like the drinkability is kind of mixed on this, because like it's not a struggle to drink this, but it is so big, and it's like, I mean, there's definitely alcohol warmth on here. I've had lower ABV beers that were like way hotter than this.
Okay.
Like literally, you know. This is like, so the heat on this, they work with the alcohol really well. And we even let it sit out for like a half hour before we started drinking it, and so, you know, as it warms, it's just gonna get hotter and hotter, you know. But yeah, this is a imperial stout that, I mean, it drinks like the way it should drink.
Yeah. I like the now that when you said licorice, I like that. I really picked the licorice up in this actually.
Yeah, it's almost like a red licorice than a black licorice. Like that 𝗙𝗵𝗵𝗪 that I just did, it said literally brewed with licorice. And I was like, did they mean anise? Because like anise is like a spice and it's like a licorice flavor.
Yeah.
I was like, do they actually have Twizzlers or Red Vine or whatever that they throw in there?
Yeah.
Or I don't know what's going on with it. As for this beer, yeah, it's really good. I imagine this would probably be great if you let it, you know, cellar for a year or two, or.
Yeah, I think that would really benefit this beer. I mean, it's not that hot alcohol burning, but you definitely feel like it warming down your throat.
Yeah.
You can tell it's like a higher gravity beer, but.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's you know, drinking now it's perfectly fine also.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no reason to wait. I think it would just be interesting. And it's kind of a shame, because like, I mean, this is a big deal beer. You know, I can tell from the recipe and from just tasting it, drinking it, that a lot went into this one. And it's just a one-off. You know, it's like probably something I would probably never do again, like Ryan's coconut IPA, which I really loved. Yeah, I mean, this is excellent. I'd say at least a 9, maybe a 10 on this. What do you think? Maybe you can sway me.
Yeah, I think I'd go with the 9 on this. Too bad they only made a little bit of this. It'd be nice to age a bottle.
Yeah.
See what happens, because you know it's really complex. Actually, I'm kind of tasting a little spiciness from the rye as you know as I kind of get into the beer. Yeah, I think about a 9 out of 10 for right now.
Yeah. I'm still really impressed by that whole kind of fruity berry kind of character on it. You know, like I said, rye. It's made with rye and wheat, and like, I mean, first of all, I don't really get any wheat at all. Not that you really should, because I mean that's gonna be like such a low profile grain compared to everything else that's in this. And it's not like they're using it with like the Bavarian yeast strain, so like there's no Hefeweizen quality to it. Like there's no banana or clove or anything.
That would be interesting.
I'd imagine they're probably using the same yeast they use when they make the IRS. I mean, it's similar to the IRS, but definitely not the same beer. it's really. I mean, if you like Stone IRS, you'll love this. But yeah, I think it's really good. So I'll say 9. So I guess that about wraps it up. So thanks to Jason for coming over.
Thanks for having me.
He's going to be bringing some beers over the next few weeks or so, whatever. And yeah, he's hooked me up with some. So check the blog for. You might see some text reviews of beers that it'll say, "Thanks, Jason. This is the Jason." So, all right. So thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.